Well, good morning, everybody. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. I've been out of town visiting my family for Christmas, which was absolutely wonderful. I did technically get back yesterday, but it was about 15 degrees colder yesterday than it is today, and it's cold today. Let's just say that my backside is already numb from the seat I'm sitting on. But I've got to push through and actually do this semi-regularly, or I'm just going to go back to my old habits. I'm trying something a little bit different today. In theory, I'm recording this on a separate camera, although its battery is now telling me that it's empty, which shouldn't be because it was full when I left. Probably the cold. Due to my dear mother being unable to see these streams when they go to my story, I'm going to be trying to repost these to my YouTube channel so they can see them. Oh, wow, there's actually people watching. I'm semi-shocked. So, I got up, did my normal routine. I actually combed my hair and brushed my teeth before I left. I mean, this is progress for me. And I got out and I was walking and I started to think about the Christmas that we had with my family. 3 of my 5 siblings were able to make it to my mom's new house, and we were able to spend Christmas together, along with my wife and my brother's long-term girlfriend. And it was a great day. Several days. We didn't do much other than sit around, talk, went on a few walks, and played the brand new Nintendo Switch that I got for Christmas, and had the most amazing time playing Super Smash Brothers, which sounds silly, I know, but it's something that we used to do as kids. And it wasn't just me, but all of my siblings were remembering times in our past, clustered around the GameCube, around the little 27-inch television that we used to have, and how much fun we had, how wonderful it was. But that started me thinking about more about a question that I posed to myself, which is, can we be blinded by nostalgia? And I think the answer is yes. A couple of videos ago, I talked about what I considered to be our best Christmas ever. The one where I was able to get my hands on, excuse me, I'm sorry, where I was able to get my hands on an Xbox 360, a game that my siblings really wanted, and even a high-definition television, and bring them all home. And we all weirdly remember that as one of our best Christmases. My mom, my 3 brothers, I think even my sister remembers this one. And it was a good Christmas. But we forget how bad things were back then. My parents had relatively recently divorced. I think it was only the second Christmas without my dad, where at the time, I don't think I would have admitted it, but that was hard. That was really, really hard. Our entire lives had been shaken up. My mother was trying desperately to afford to feed 5 children. I'm number 6, but I was living outside the home at that point. Christmas that year was going to be very, very lean because my mom just flat out didn't have the money. That's actually one of the reasons I worked so hard to bring a few good gifts in, because I knew how lean it was going to be. I was working one of the worst jobs I've ever been at. I was too prideful at the time to recognize the serious, crippling depression that I was under. I didn't understand how dangerous the suicidal thoughts I was having at the time were. But it just was not a good time. It was a bad time. But yet, we still remember that Christmas as one of the best Christmases we've ever had. And it started me thinking about nostalgia, about what our memory does when bad things happen. And I think it's a self-defense mechanism. If we looked back on our lives and we only saw the bad, how much hope would we have for the future? Oops. And apparently I am no longer alive. Let's try that again. I think my battery's dying. Okay, and we're back. If we remembered all the bad, how much hope would we have for the future? Probably not much. Probably not much at all. And it made me realize that I sometimes do this to myself. I look back over my own history, and I have a bad habit of seeing all the bad, all the terrible things that happen, and it robs me of hope. It robs me of that drive to move forward. But at the same time, we can also be blinded by the nostalgia of our past if we go the other direction. And I think it's about living life in balance. I guess... well then. Okay, well, I guess I'm not live streaming anymore because the phone just died. I'm guessing it's the cold. So I'll just finish here. I guess what I'm realizing is that at those times that seemed so good, the times where the nostalgia was so great, we were just living. We were plugging away, doing our best. We were just living. We made the best of our bad circumstances. We tried as hard as we could to be better people, to have faith, to trust that someone bigger than us was watching out for us, and to move forward. I realized that I have a lot more nostalgic memories of childhood than I do as a young adult. And yeah, people say, well, that's normal, but I think it's more than that. I think it's the fact that as a child, I didn't have a lot of memories to get lost in. I couldn't get lost in my own past. All I had was the present. All I could live in was the present, and so I just lived. I did the best I could. But so often now I find myself trapped, living in my own past, remembering good times and wishing things were better, instead of trying to live and make things better. So, I don't know. I don't know if I have a conclusion or a point I'm trying to make. Just the ramblings and the thoughts of somebody who's freezing his literal butt behind off out here walking around. But I guess if I would encourage people, especially who's going into this new year, live in the present. Don't forget your past. Don't be afraid to look forward to the future, but also live in the present. Do what you can to make now better. To those of you who have tuned in to watch this, I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow morning.